All right. Bracket Yahweh, Bracket Yahweh Shai, Bracket Yahweh, Bracket Yahweh Shai, Bracket Yahweh, Bracket Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Chaha Kodash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. I was a high spirit wind lawyer. So now I want to go into a topic. All right. Basically going into how our heritage puts female nature in order. It puts Eve in order. It puts Jake in order, man. Okay. One thing that we see that's a very one of the main things that we speak about in this truth, aside from prophecy, aside from correcting the doctrine, all right, is Eve, because a joint heir to white supremacy or Edomite supremacy, all right, it's this matriarch, man. It's Eve's queendom. As it says in Isaiah 3 and 12, children are their oppressor and women rule over them. And best believe, all right, when it comes to the nation of Israel, that there's a feminine queen of heaven vibration hovering over Jake, man. Okay? And also, the thing that you see within our nation is whoredom running rapid, man. Running wild, man. All right? Because basically, it's our people without the laws, man. It's our people without tradition, without a heritage to clothe them. All right? So our people without the laws, without ultimately Yahushai, they're basically like animals. It says in the book of Psalms, I was like a beast unto thee. So one of the main problems that we have with Eve is basically through feminism, all right? But feminism just liberates her from the laws, man. It liberates her from her place. See? So, but our culture, our heritage, it tames female nature. One thing that we learning about is female nature. Female nature is hypergamous, meaning she'll monkey branch to the next man if she feels that if he's better than you. Or ultimately, female nature means that she wants something that's superior than her. Okay? All right? She wants the select male. She wants the alpha. All right? And we find out that female nature it produces whoredom because it has a monkey branch mechanism, meaning it'll go from man to man. Okay? And we know that because of the matriarch, that women naturally want to rule over Jake, man. Ultimately because of the transgression in the garden. All right? In Genesis, it said her desire, and you will rule over Eve. But in the NLT, just the flip side to it, it said her desire will be to rule over you. And it tells you in Jeremiah 31:22 that a woman shall compass a man. But one of the main problems that we have with Eve is that she is out of order, man. All right? But our laws, it puts women in their place. All right? It's the solution to female nature. And one thing that you learn in America gives the why factor. Now we understand why a father marries off his daughter, all right, in her fruitful years, man, in the flower of her age, which is when she hits puberty, man. All right, we know that now. We know why a wife is bound to her husband unless he dies. Now we know why. We know why. If a son is lazy and he's basically a third titty, he's a liability, he gets stoned to death, man. We know why. If you're an alphabet gang, then you get put to death. We know why a woman shouldn't dress like a man and a man shouldn't dress like a woman. It causes confusion. All right, America created the why factor. It gave us the education as to why these laws were put in place. We know why a woman should not rule over a man. All right, we know every law that you could possibly break, it was broken in America, man. You know? So that's another thing. Babylon is an education. This comes by way of Elder Yaquab. Babylon was the education to know what wickedness is. You see? And just going through the things that we've gone through in America, Babylon, America gives us the why, W-H-Y. It gives us the why understanding. We understand why you don't break these laws. We understand what happens if you break these laws. We see the outcome of, not getting a woman in her virginity. We see the outcome of, like I said, alphabet gang. We see the outcome of, hell, shaving your beard, going bald, having all them bumps in the back of your head, having all the bumps on your razor bumps on your face, man. We see the why factor as to why you should not eat pork, catfish, and shrimp. You see? We see the why factor, man. So now you have a greater respect for the laws, man. Unlike the Christian church, all right? The laws are not just some theoretical laws that we don't have to follow anymore. It's literally a government system that puts people in order. It regulates human nature. The laws regulate human nature. It civilizes you above your animal instincts. When the scripture speaks about the flesh, I want to say in one of those translations is the NLT. The flesh is called human nature. All right? And if you look up the word flesh in the Greek, it goes into that wild animal nature. We all have that nature. So you have to have laws, and ultimately Yahushua, the spirit of Yahushua, to dominate, to rule over your primitive nature, your lower nature. Men have a lower nature. Male nature is cutthroat. Male nature doesn't care if you have a woman. Nigga nature, as they call it. All right, it's on some one-up dominant shit. All right, and you see that with Jake, man. You know, human nature is cutthroat. Male nature is cutthroat. Female nature is cutthroat. But you have the laws that tell you to be brotherly. Yahushua, hey, the scripture says, hate not thy brother in thy heart. Just imagine if that law was implemented. That's a law. That's a law. Hate not thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt rebuke him. Just what if that was a law? Even the agricultural laws. We're so caught up in Babylon and having nice houses, nice apartments, nice condos, right? Jake is so been Babylonianized to the point where he doesn't understand. His first mindset is to have land, according to the laws. Now, we're in somebody else's country, and that's what makes us in captivity. That's what makes us slaves, man. Because we're in somebody else's country, man. You see? But you have land and you build your legacy. You know, you have an estate. And you pass down the greatest portion to your firstborn son. Then you allot the lesser portions to the sons that come after. All right? You have laws that prevent baby mamas and baby mama drama and baby mamas being jealous of each other. All right? You have an estate and you have multiple wives within your estate. And they were groomed to be helpmeets. And you was groomed to be the ruler over your estate. All right? So showing you that we're in captivity because Jay got to drive trucks or work for UPS or work in some warehouse. Now he got child support, got the constable coming to work. You know? All these different things, man. Jake don't have access to his little ones. You know, if a woman gets divorced, Jake keeps everything, you know. No, let me rephrase that. According to the law, if a woman wants to get divorced, well, she's really bound to her husband. But if she were to get a divorce, then Jake keeps everything. All right? But in this society, the woman gets everything. You see? That's another reason why this is called the city of confusion. Babel. Okay? But the laws put human nature in order. You have to have systems, guidelines to rule over Jake nature, man. And without it, as you can see, Jake is a wild beast, the men and the women. All right, but the main problem that we have with women is they're engineered through, cross-engineered or re-engineered through feminism, but they're out of order. It causes them to be out of order. She wasn't groomed to be a helpmeet, all right, to be arranged, to be a wife to your son, and be his helpmeet within his estate, and be a sister wife. She's out of order, man. All right. She's masculine. She's loud. She's wearing pants. She's promiscuous. All right. She has a domineering, imperious nature. She wants to rule over Jake. You know, she's vindictive. All right. You know, you let women have options as to what type of man they'll like, and they'll name a very vain reason. A certain height, his jaw structure, his skin complexion. That's very vain. That's why the patriarch was the best way. Not the matriarch. Father knows best. Father knows best, man. You groom your daughter to be a helpmeet. You groom your daughter to be a helpmeet. Okay? But our way, our heritage, our customs, all right, it surpasses that of Egypt, of Babylon. It's a superior way that the nations were supposed to marvel at because of our wisdom. All right? And that's why the small heads, they desire to be us. They clothe themselves in our cultural apparel. All right? It's being the chosen people. Okay? Because we have these laws that if you follow these laws, you'll have great success. One of those presidents, forget which one, he said the only thing a man needs is the Bible. The only education you really need is the Bible, man. All right? Because if you implement that wisdom, the proverbial wisdoms, the laws, man, you'll have success anywhere you go. Now, we're under the curses, so we can't really keep the laws like that, but we do it the best we can. But even us keeping the laws that we can keep in Babylon, look how much better that has made our lives, man. Even the lifestyle that we learned our forefathers had, that's more reclusive, more homebound, more, following that circadian rhythm, not really being out so much. Look how much much more peace you have, man. Being more reserved, more frugal, more minimalist. Look how much peace that gives you, man. As opposed to being spontaneous, wild, impulsive, But at the end of the day, the laws regulate human nature. It regulates male nature. It regulates female nature. The solution to Eve is being back in order, being under the patriarch, being under the laws, man. Being out the way. As you can see, women's liberation liberated women to go off their nature. That's all. Women's sexual revolution was just a permission to go off your primitive instincts as a woman. And as you can see, her primitive instincts is whoredom. Her natural devices is whoredom. Everything you see with Eve is promoting what? Sex, man. All right, but the laws, put her back in order, and it cuts down that confusion. All right, that's pretty much the point, man. Our way governs this nigga shit, man. Our way, ultimately, it's your Howard side, not just the laws itself, but your Howard side. All right, filling your spirit up with your Howard side, that governs human nature. It governs nigga nature. It's a solution to this ratchet bullshit, man. It's a solution to sexy red. It's a solution to NBA Youngboy. It's a solution to the bullshit, man. All right? It's not just 10 commandments. it's different branches of the law that govern our people. The dietary law when it comes to food, civil laws, judicial laws when it comes to civil matters between people, land, landmarks, things like that. Ceremonial laws to keep us in tune with the Most High, which Yahweh Shai covers that part. You know, he's the high priest. You see? Occupations. You know, when you have to occupy land, men have occupations. And ultimately you utilize that land that you're on and you make a living to sustain your people. So you have farmers, you have, because the main occupation is agriculture, because you're living off the land. Then you have fishermen, all right? A lot of the disciples, some of the disciples were fishermen, all right? That's part of our culture, fishing off that coast, hence the Mediterranean diet, okay? Carpenters, all right? You have to build houses, all right? That's a very important occupation. What's another one? Potters. You have to have vessels, all right? Cups, plates, pots, storage containers made out of earthen vessels, earthen clay, all right? Physicians. So on a very, well, these are things that are occupations that if our people had it, then they would look like useless niggas, man. All right, the Most High had all these things set up from the beginning, man. All right, whatever your father was, you was most likely that, man. Okay. All right, but that's pretty much the point, you know. With that, hope you're edified. Till the next time, shalom.